Hello, my name is Rob Ribby and I'm director here at Honey Rock, and I'm excited to talk to you about Advanced Camp. Advanced Camp is one of the most unique and powerful programs at Honey Rock, and it is at a critical time for young people between junior high and high school, and helping to equip and prepare them to manage that significant transition. It's a 3-week program that has a wilderness trip, some significant in-camp experiences around our activity areas and Bible studies, and then thirdly has a significant service component. The whole goal of the program is to prepare them and help them understand who they are and how they can stand for Christ and live in healthy and whole ways as they enter the significant years of high school. I think it is one of the best investments you can make at this important time in their lives. We hope to see you next summer. God bless.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside King Arena here on the campus of Wheaton College for tonight's presentation of Wheaton Thunder men's basketball on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. My name is Abram Erickson. I'm joined by Owen Phoenix, and we're here to bring you tonight's matchup between the Wheaton Thunder and the Milliken Big Blue. And we're here in our final game, regular season game here at King Arena, as the Thunder coming back from a 2-game road trip back here for the final regular season game of the year. On that road trip, they split 2 games. Augustana took a loss 93-98 in Rock Island, and then North Central took a big win over there, 82-71 just the other night. So a really big win for them, as I mentioned, and it kind of switched up the CCIW. Really, Wheaton now sitting firmly placed in the 3rd spot. 10-5 in the conference, and tonight this game against Milliken certainly still holding some importance for the conference tournament coming up.
Yeah, Wheaton's had a great year, luckily sitting comfortably in that 3rd spot. It's a nice change of pace from the past couple of years where they've been a little bit uncertain, not knowing where they're going to be in the tournament, but this year sitting comfortably in 3rd. And talked to Coach Panner before the game. Keys to tonight's game are defending the glass. Obviously, Milliken having some great size out there. Jordan Cunningham, a 6'6", 295-pound forward, along with 2 other players coming in heavy and tall. It's going to be a challenge for Wheaton on the glass.
We'll send to the court and be back before tip-off, but here's Tim Martin, the PA announcer, with the national anthem and the team introductions.
now the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Milliken. At 1 guard, a 5'11 freshman out of Evansville. Number 2, Jack Marinko. At the other guard, a 6'4 junior out of Monticello. Number 21, Zach Fisher. At forward, a 6'6 senior out of St. Louis. Number 23, Devontae Harrell. At another forward, we have a 6'7 senior out of Evanston. That's number 32, Elijah Henry. And finally, we have a 6'6 forward out of Danville, a junior, number 52, Jordan Cunningham. Milliken is coached by Mark Scherer, who's assisted by Kramer Soderberg and Jamal Russell. And now, Wheaton College fans, on your feet, the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. At 1 guard, a 6'1 senior out of Tyler, Texas, number 1, Aston Francis. The other guard's a 6'4 senior out of Medina, Ohio, that's number 10, Luke Peters. At a third guard, a 6'1 sophomore out of Orlando, number 22, Niamie Adom. At forward for the Thunder, a 6'6 junior out of Grand Rapids, number 35, Spencer Peterson. And at center for the Thunder, a 6'8 junior out of Chicago, number 25, Anajawan Spencer. Wheaton College is coached by Mike Schauer, who's assisted by JP John Tanner, Joel D. Smith, and Mr. Zach Plum.
All right, you heard it there, the starting lineups. Out on the court, it's going to be Marinko, Fisher, Harrell, Henry, and Cunningham for the Big Blue. On the Thunder side of the ball, it's Francis, Peters, Adom, Spencer, and Peterson. Owen, you got a chance to mention before the game some big bodies on the Milliken side, and definitely Coach Panner, as you said, talking about how it's going to be important on the offensive and defensive glass, and also on the defensive end too, but something I'm sure they want to focus on, getting off to a hot start, something they did against North Central. Aston Francis hitting 4 3-pointers to open the game over in Naperville. So I'm sure the Thunder and Coach Schauer would be welcome to a start like that tonight. Here's Spencer from the corner. No good. Ball tipped away and brought down by Milliken on the first possession of the night.
As you said, Francis caught fire, making and tying a record 10 3-pointers in that matchup.
Shot up for Milliken, no good, and rebounded by Peterson. Another record that was tied that night was as Peters spins into the lane and his layup just rims out. We've got a foul, and it'll be going the Big Blue way. But as I mentioned, Aston Francis also tying the record for most consecutive games with a 3-pointer in Division III history. He's now tied with Chris Caradeo, so with 1 3-pointer tonight. Aston could break that record as well. We'll see if he gets it and how long it takes, as driving in as Marinko has to pass back out. Here's a little backdoor cut and a nice layup inside, but it misses. That's going to be off the hands of Anajuan Spencer, and it'll stay with the Big Blue.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's going to take too long with Francis. It's not a matter of if he'll start catching fire from behind the line, but a matter of when. Another
layup, this one no good. Now, strong rebound, Spencer underneath, and Peters wants to run. Gets it to Adom. Adom, off-balance layup off the rim. Rebound, tipped a couple times, but finally brought down by Henry.
Henry's going to be a player we're going to want to watch tonight, leading the team in points and rebound, 14.7, 7.5. He's definitely a dangerous player.
Devontae Harrell's pass bounces out of bounds. Looked like it was intended for Cunningham. And with 18:30 left in this one, still no score yet, as both teams have had a couple good chances but haven't been able to finish underneath.
And it has been exciting. We'll see here.
Back out to Spencer, and looks like they want to run a screen up to Aston Francis. Adom on the wing. Nice move there by Adom, but almost lost his dribble. Shot clock winding down to 3. Spencer Peterson will attempt the 3 off the front of the rim. Ball tipped high in the air, and Henry's the one that comes down with it. Marinko brings it up the court and gets it to Henry up top. He's on the wing and he's guarded by Spencer. That's going to be a key matchup throughout the night. Off the cut, Fisher. Jumper just outside the free throw line. No good. Ball tipped up in the air, and a dome slid on the court to go save it. Looks like before he was able to get it off, must have been on the sideline there, and so it'll be the Big Blue. Looks like it'll be a sideline inbound.
I like what a dome's done today already, being physical, making effort plays already in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Ball goes into Henry, but it's knocked away. Peters out on the run, 3-on-4. A dome will pull up the three-pointer. Off the front of the rim, tipped in by Spencer Peterson. Great job to wait and play that one off the rim, and we've got our first bucket of the night.
Peterson having our own heavy man, being able to bully his way through traffic for that rebound.
Fisher goes down, and Peters right on top of him there, but not able to take it away. Harrell wants the screen, works inside the lane, pump fake, goes up and under, and finishes with a layup of his own.
Aston Francis being taken out of the game so far. I don't think he's touched the ball once tonight.
They've got Devontae Harrell guarding him, and Harrell's a big guy at 6'6". Certainly a height advantage over Francis. Now Spencer Peterson tracks down the ball after it was tipped away. Good hustle play from him. Francis got his first touch and then threw it inside. Bobbled, and now out to Peters. Francis with the ball in his hand and 20 seconds on the shot clock. Pulls up a deep three-pointer, but gets it to Luke Peters instead. Ball tipped up. Peters gets his own miss. Goes up against two Milliken players, and again, it's Henry able to come down with it. We've seen Henry a couple rebounds already on the night. That's his third.
Henry has been all over the court tonight. 4 rebounds already in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Out to Fisher. Cunningham comes to set the screen. Working into the corner is Fisher. Now Cunningham just outside the elbow. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Marinko working inside. Spin jumper from the free throw line, and it's good as the buzzer sounds.
I cannot imagine it feels good running into a player like Jordan Cunningham.
Francis, so outside step back three-pointer, his first of the night, and he drills it. And there it is. He's got the record, and he gives Wheaton the lead, 5-4.
How best to break the record than a very Harden-esque step back?
I'd say it's Francis-esque from what we've seen him do most of this year. In the corner now to Fisher. He works up a screen, gets Luke Peters to jump, and then puts up a jumper that bounces twice and then drops.
Congratulations to Aston Francis on breaking a phenomenal record, being one of the most lethal sharpshooters college basketball potentially has ever seen.
Francis the pass across the court. Spencer, the wide open three, and he knocks that down as well. Lead will go back to the Thunder. It's now 8-6. After a little bit of a cool start, we've seen a couple shots drop on ensuing possessions here for both teams. Marinko skip pass, and now it'll be Harrell that tries a three, and his is good too. 9-8.
Good to see this game heating up. We've seen some games in King Arena this year that have been incredibly low scoring, so it's nice to see.
Francis flicks up another three, and it drops after going off the backboard, but the referee's going to say that one hit the wire, and I think he's right.
I say we let it count anyway, Abram. For a ball to go 10 feet in the air and still go in, I think it's good style points.
Marinko the one to bring it up the court now. After many lead changes and a couple substitutions here, Levi Laws has checked in. So has Corbin Farmer. Here's Marinko, the inside pass to Farmer. He's fouled, and we want to take this free throw to show you here that record we just talked about Aston Francis breaking. Take a look here, and Chris Caradeo, the former record holder, played for Widener and His streak spanned from 1992 to 1995, a 75-game streak. Aston Francis here breaking that record, and it's a streak that started all the way back on November 11th, 2016, back against Benedictine, and now 3 years in the making, and sits at 76, and depending on how far this team goes, could extend well beyond that. So congratulations to Aston Francis once again for that record, as Farmer knocked down both of the free throws, and he puts Milliken ahead 11-8. Francis gets an open lane, kicks it out to Eichelberger, who just checked in. Eichelberger's three glances off the rim, and we'll see a foul on the floor. It's going to be against Henry in our first foul of the night on Milliken. Eichelberger's shot just barely grazed the rim. Cade Aliath goes up against it, and I think they're going to get Henry on a hold there against Cade. So we've got Luke Anthony, Cade Aliath, and Eichelberger, who just checked in. Aliath not quite able to finish. Got the bump and then wanted to put that one down, but instead he'll head to the line for 2 shots.
That was an excellent pump fake, getting his defender to jump, getting him in the air, and then just jumping into him. He wanted it to drop, but still a great move. Always good to get the other team into foul trouble.
First by Aliath, no good. Second on the way is nothing but net. And Marinko and Henry, the two Milliken players that have stayed in the game, and on the Thunder side, it's Peters and Francis. Drive to the hole by Laws, kicks it back out to Marinko. He drives baseline, wants to get it inside to Farmer, who bobbles it for a second, puts up a shot, which Kobe Eichelberger comes down with the strong rebound. Peters on the run. He's got Aliath ahead of him and dribbles the ball. Let's see. Looks like it. Referee's going to rule it's Milliken's way. Couldn't quite see if it was off Peters' own leg or if it got tipped. It will go back to the big blue. Peters checks out as Adome checks back in.
I love what Adome has been doing in this game so far. How many times already have we seen him go up for loose balls, 50-50 plays, and make the winning play?
Aliath, great defense against Henry, and now the lead pass up ahead to Adome. Adome goes up, he's fouled, and we'll go to the line, and looked like he could have got the N1, but got fouled there by Marinko, altered the shot, had to put the second hand up there, and just couldn't quite get it to sneak over the top of the rim.
That was a great outlet pass by Aston Francis. As much as we talked about his scoring, his assisting is also elite. He is having great floor vision, making the breakaway.
And when Coach Schauer has talked multiple times throughout the year about how such a great scorer Aston is, but how his team plays the best when Aston is scoring and creating for other players. And that's a perfect example, as Francis saw Adome up ahead and hit him with the great lead pass. Adome hit 1 of 2, and it's now 10-11. Milliken still on top. 12:50 to go in the first half. Goes outside the Laws, dribble handoff, and now back to Fisher, who works his way all the way down. Farmar spins inside, kicks it out, and Eichelberger the other way. Gets the ball up front, and down in the pile, we'll see who had the last touch. Looks like they'll rule that I will go with Milliken, but Eichelberger just wasn't able to keep a handle on that as he got the pass from Adome.
That was a great defense by Milliken, breaking up that fast break. Eichelberger being so good at slashing it with contact.
Marinko outside, Laws off the dribble, gets back to Cunningham, who's just checked in, and over to Marinko on the wing. Looks like what they want to isolate Fisher, get him the ball, but Laws takes a deep three-pointer, no good, and then Henry, flies in the air. His get up a little gingerly, but looks like he's all right as he flew in for the rebound, and looks like he just went over. Let's see. Adome got him up in the air, but Henry will check out.
Jogging off the court, that's a good sign. That's a scary fall. We've seen things like that happen before, but it looked like he kept his arms under his head and avoided concussion. Glad to see he's all right.
Harrell Harrell now gets it down to Cunningham. Cunningham guarded by Spencer on the block. Out to Marinko. 15 on the shot clock. Back to Cunningham again. Bumps down low, and they're going to call it travel as Cunningham trying to get something going in the post. Spencer did a great job of just sticking with it, staying on his back, and he was able to get the turnover.
And Abram, I talked to Coach Panner before the game, asking him, hey, how do you defend a guy that's almost 300 pounds? And he just said exactly what Spencer just did. Stay in between him and the basket, make him shoot over you, let him make mistakes.
Francis, step back three-pointer in the corner, and it's good. Giving the Thunder the lead on off the dribble in the corner.
And it's plays like that that shows you how he breaks a record held from 1995.
Fisher, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rocked down by Cunningham, and now it's Peterson. Works inside, hook shot, no good. Tipped up in the air a couple times. Harrell the one to come down with it, but then stripped away by Luke Anthony on the run, 3-on-2. Anthony drives through the lane, gets it to a dome, and sees Spencer outside. Beautiful no-look pass down into Spencer Peterson, who puts up the shot, tipped. A dome not quite able to get out of bounds as Francis made another beautiful pass inside to Peterson, who wasn't quite able to get the shot up. Collapsed on by two defenders pretty quickly.
I don't even know what to call the pass that Acid Francis just made. With two hands, he used his body just to get his arms out, extended around his defender and pass it. Almost looked like a pocket pass, like it didn't hit the ground.
A couple more substitutes enter the game. It's Laws that's dribbling against Anthony. Over to Harrell. Step back just a foot behind the free throw line is good. Coming down to about the 10-minute mark in the half. 13-13. Been a close ball game all night so far. Great pass inside from Spencer to a dome, and oh, that ball looked like it was about halfway down before it popped back out. Both teams having a little trouble with some of the layups tonight. Laws inside, hands off. Now it's Hampton that's trying to work his way around. He's guarded by Anthony. Harrell cuts to the basket. Another layup, no good. Good straight-up defense by Spencer. Peters dribbles out, and Fisher's there. Down to Spencer Peterson, who finishes the layup. Late arriving defender couldn't do anything to impede Peterson's shot there, as he just took it straight up to the backboard and banked it in.
Wheaton is succeeding through consistent ball movement, and that's something we've seen in the past where it becomes stagnant. They just can't get shots to fall.
Law's layup was no good. Harrell there to clean it up, and we'll get a first time out of the game. It's called by Coach Scherer of Milligan.
Coach Panner said before the game, one of the keys is consistent movement on the offensive end. I feel like we're seeing that tonight. Players are making screens. They're making cuts to the basket. How do you feel like the ball movement has been tonight compared to nights where sometimes they struggle?
Yeah, well, we've definitely seen times where you've said, Owen, we'll come out and scoring is just hard to come by early. And while it may have been for the first couple minutes of this game, quickly broken out of that by exactly what you said, ball movement. And look, just taking a look at the box score, it shows us a little bit of that. Scoring pretty spread out. Francis with 6, Peterson with 4, Spencer with 3, and then Adome and Aliath with a free throw apiece. And so that's a lot more balanced than some of the box scores we're used to seeing from early in the game, where we either not having things go down. Anthony will take his first shot of the game, a 3, and high off the rim is Cunningham, who comes down. Hampton, the one to bring it up top. Marinko is taking his first break of the night after about 11 minutes on the court. Nice shot by Fisher, but doesn't get it to drop as he backed him down on the fadeaway. Peters goes inside with the left hand, loses it underneath, but able to save it. Good athletic play to Peterson. Peterson's three-pointer drops and gives the Thunder right back.
That was a great sequence by Peterson on both ends of the floors, putting a body on 52, Jordan Cunningham, getting that defensive rebound, and then making his way down the floor and hitting a three.
Fisher passes across, and three-pointer no good. Now Adome sees Peters. Peters not able to finish on the layup. Another great pass from Francis, and Peters wide open, just a little too strong there.
That's a shot you can guarantee he'll make most of the time.
Three-pointer, that one's good, and now the Thunder trading baskets with Milliken. Hampton, the one that knocks it down. Peters going right back in and puts up a shot, no good, but he's fouled, and he'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Both teams have started to heat up a bit. Let's watch this play by Luke Peters. You can't cross that shot to miss most of the time. Good job getting to the line.
Peters did a great job getting to the basket there, as I'm sure he's frustrated after that missed layup. Came right down, made a great dribble move past his defender, beat him to the hole, and got sent to the line.
Peterson is having a great game tonight as well.
Peters hits one.
3 for 5 for 7 points, 3 rebounds, while guarding the largest man on the floor.
We see Henry enter the game, which, as we said, a good sign after a little spill there, but now he's back in working against Spencer. Pass goes down to him on the block. We saw the ball in his hands a lot of the time, and Hampton will take another three, and he'll hit this one from the corner. Peters off the court, goes to Anthony. Down low. Interesting to see that Henry's not guarding Anajuan Spencer down on the Thunder side, as he goes right over top and is able to put that one in. He was guarded by Calvin Fisher, not by Henry. Pass down on the block. Great pump fake as Zach Fisher is able to knock that one in. Ball outside to Francis. He'll quickly pull up and knock down a three-pointer. He is certainly on tonight, as he's hit 2 of 3, 3 of 4, from behind the line.
He has shot exclusively from behind the line tonight.
Hampton's pass can't get through, as Eichelberger able to trap it, and the Thunder want to run. Peters driving to the hole, laying that one in. No chance there, as he rose up high and was able to just drop that one in. Beautiful finger roll from Peters.
Luke Peters is a perfectionist, so you know if he messes up something that should be simple, he's going to come back twice as hard to make up for it later in the game.
Another timeout by Milliken. Full timeout here, and we've got 5:55 left in this first half. 26-23, the Thunder able to take the lead back after a nice little 5-0 run in the last couple, just about 15 seconds, as they're able to put Peters' layup up with Peterson's three-pointer, Francis's three-pointer, So we've seen a back-and-forth game here. These last 5 minutes are going to be important to see who's going to take the lead heading into halftime. If either team can put together a string here and make a nice run, they'll be the team that's in the driver's seat coming out in the second half.
You're absolutely right. Both teams doing so well, especially doing so well from behind the line. We've seen a couple of games in King Arena this year where it almost seems like the teams are trying to miss from behind the line, having a percentile below 30%. Tonight, the Thunder 5 for 11 for 45%. Milliken coming in 3 for 6, shooting a lot less, but it's nice to see the shots start to drop.
Milliken a little slow to come out of the timeout, as the Thunder look ready with Aston Francis, Luke Peters, Spencer Peterson, Nyame Adome, and Cade Aliath on the floor. The team that Milliken sends out is Henry, Marinko, Fisher, and Harrell. both Zach and Calvin Fisher on the floor. Calvin sends a pass over to Marinko. Marinko's three is good, and that looked like a play they drew up during the timeout. Beautifully executed, giving Marinko the open three on the wing.
It's always fun when you see an ATO work perfectly like that.
Peter, another three, and that one's no good, but Peters underneath. His shot is blocked by Harrell, and Zach Fisher's the one to come down with it. Pass up ahead to Harrell. He gets up and throws it down. Elijah Henry with the dunk off a great lead pass from Zach Fisher.
Elijah Henry thought the rim was coming off.
Francis drives into the basket. Behind the head pass to Peters, who will take a three of his own, and he knocks it down. Luke Peters with a three-pointer.
What a play. What a sequence of events. Behind the head pass to Francis for Luke Peters. Shoots the least threes on the team.
That's Luke Peters' first three-pointer of the year, and it gives the Thunder the lead, 29-28.
Abram, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's his third of his career.
Well, I'm not sure about that. We'd have to take a look back in the stats to see, but it is the first of this year, and like I said, the Thunder now with the lead, 29-28, 4:43 left in this one. Anthony's in the game as well as Peterson, and now they want to get it back to Henry. He goes into Spencer, and his layup is good. That's just a great physical play by Henry as he got the ball down low, went up strong, and Spencer didn't have anything to do there. Francis has Cunningham, certainly a mismatch. He goes right by him, kicks it out to Peters again. Peters now works inside, slicing through defenders. A blocking foul is called. He'll head to the line for two. One thing that I maybe expected to see there was when Francis had the mismatch against Cunningham out on the three-point line, maybe expecting him to pull up a three-pointer, but Francis found it easy to breeze by him and then hit Luke Peters on a nice pass as Peters hits his first. It's Farmer that checks in.
If you're Big Blue, your nightmare matchup is Cunningham on Francis. The speed of his first step is lightning fast, and someone of the size of Cunningham just is not able to keep up. I was expecting Francis to drive in and use his vertical to get up and get to the line, potentially getting an and one.
Laws goes over to Zach Fisher. His shot is no good, but Laws swoops in to grab the rebound. Farmer kicks out, and now all the way over to the other side. Here he is down low, and a nice finish with the left hand.
Nice finish, nice no-look pass.
Anthony has the ball on the wing, 32-30, Milliken with the lead. Peters gets it down low to Francis. Little spin move, and now he's down on the ball. It's going to be a jump, and that'll go the Milliken way.
Unfortunate result of that jump ball, but great effort by Francis, not letting it be a turnover and a fast break.
That's a tough play when the ball gets down by your feet there, especially when you're surrounded by three guys down on the block. But like you said, Francis did a good job to tie it up rather than have something else happen. And now we see Peterson going for the ball there, and they'll get him on the foul, it looks like.
Well, that's a disappointing.
They'll get it on Cunningham. Better there is Cunningham. Yeah, Peterson got his hand on it as Cunningham slid over and got him on the block. So it will be Thunder ball. 3:17 to go. Francis hears that matchup again. Cunningham goes right by him inside. Another no-look pass, this time to the corner. Spencer's three-pointer, no good. Luke Peters goes up to get it, and it's knocked away by Laws, but Francis right there. Laws playing tight defense. Francis goes up, gets it down to Spencer Peterson, but his shot is blocked, and now it's tipped out of bounds. And Milliken with honestly a great defensive stand right there. Thunder had a lot of opportunities to score, weren't able to bring it down. Finally culminated in the block on Spencer Peterson.
I thought Aston Francis, Thunder were just going to carve through for an easy bucket, but you're right, absolutely great stand, getting a good block, good strip. from Milliken.
Marinko's three-pointer was no good, but with no box out, he was able to run in and grab his own rebound and hit a short jumper for 2. Peters goes over to Spencer. Spencer will drive in against Farmer. Goes up to the rim and rolls right off. Another missed layup for the Thunder.
Ball didn't want to drop, but that was a great move by Spencer there.
Great job to get to the hole. Didn't quite have the finish. Now it's Cunningham on the block. Faces up and kicks out to Laws. Over to Marinko on the wing. Cunningham's up top. A handoff into the corner. Fisher will take a 3, and it's off the rim, and that'll stay with Milliken as Spencer Peterson the last to touch it. Now Dome checks in for the Thunder, as does Kobe Eichelberger. And now it looks like the referees have reversed their call. And the ball are going to go back to the Thunder. Referee heading over to talk to the coach and also over to Cunningham as well. So either way, the Thunder are the ones to bring it up. Not exactly sure what happened down there, but Adome now on the wing. Gets the ball to Francis. Francis' three-pointer from 4 feet behind the arc. Doesn't drop as Cunningham comes down with it. Hampton now with the ball up the other side. 1.5 minutes to go. Laws is guarded by Francis. Hampton off the screen. Cunningham trying to set another one. Hampton has to pull it out and go to Farmer. Marinko's three-pointer is good, and he knocks that one down. Timeout. Coach Schauer, and a little run there by Milliken to extend their lead now to 7. It's the largest of the game.
That was a good timeout by Schauer. Wheaton getting hot early, but have cooled down significantly. Haven't scored in the last 2:56, nearly 3 minutes scoreless. Shots is struggling to drop. Milliken playing excellent defense. They came back making great stops under the basket, getting turnovers when they need them. If you're the coach, that's exactly what you want to see out of your squad.
Yeah, Aston Francis is leading the Thunder with 9. Luke Peters and Spencer Peterson both have 7. Over on the Milliken side of the ball, it's Marinko who's got 10 after hitting those 2 threes. Harrell has 9 as well. So with 1:24 to go, the Thunder certainly looking to even this one up before halftime, but Milliken's hot on a 7-0 run in the last 2:56. We'll see if on this possession the Thunder can break that streak, and it'll be Peters that brings it up. See a couple screens on the outside. Here's Francis for a wide open three-pointer. Off the back of the rim, but right out to Peterson. Francis will take another. That one's good, and great job. That play was run well out of the timeout as well. Got Francis the open 3 he was looking for. Didn't knock down the first one, but when he got the second chance, he capitalized and cut the lead to 4. Marinko wants another 3. He's got it, and that one's off balance. And just a great shot over coming off the screen. Didn't even set his feet as he let that one fly. Peterson to the basket. Misses a layup off the high pass from Peters. Now Hampton will slow it down as there's about a 10-second differential between the shot and game clock. 30 seconds to go. Hampton outside. Drives in, he's guarded by Adome. Wants to get it to Cunningham on the block. He's got Peterson on his back. Kicks back out. Hampton, a pump fake. Goes back down to Cunningham again. Now there's 5 on the shot clock. Works inside, left-handed hook, no good. Rebounded, Adome. 10 seconds left as now it's tipped away. And that, they're going to count the basket. Levi Laws, let's see, we didn't get a chance to catch it in real time. Adome just tried to hand it off. Didn't see Laws, and Laws just a great hustle play. That's a heads-up play and a tough mistake for Wheaton to make. With 7.9 to go, Laws has a chance to extend the lead to 10 right before halftime.
Wheaton is certainly losing the effort battle tonight. That's a great not quitting play by Laws there.
6 seconds to go. Francis will bring it down. Ball goes off his leg, and it's back to Milliken. And so a little bit of a poor couple last minutes of this one. 2.8 to go. Milliken look to put up one more shot. They substitute Fisher in for Calvin, and now Marinko puts it up from half court, off the rim, and no good. If that one would have dropped, it would have been his 4th three-pointer in a row, but one that came from half court. So after the first half, we sit at 43-33. Milliken leading the Thunder, and it was a game that had a lot of lead changes early. We've seen 5 ties, and so although it's a 10-point lead now, it certainly hasn't been that way for most of the game. But Milliken able to pull away with a 6-0 run, and really able to put the Thunder away for the last couple minutes. So we'll see what they do as we come out of halftime. It's 43-33. We'll be back after half on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.
I think a lot of today tries to emphasize how much you need to be the individual and how much you need to kind of have your plan set out for you as soon as you reach the end of high school. Vanguard just kind of popped out of nowhere, and the idea of a gap year, spending it in the woods, and I felt like I just needed to take some time away from the kind of rigorous academic world just to kind of recenter myself. I feel like this is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, was to take a gap year.
For me, going right to college was really kind of a scary thought because I didn't know what I wanted to major in, what I wanted to do. So taking a gap year was a really good chance for me to just grow and mature a little more before going to college.
Once a month we would have professors from Wheaton come up and run a seminar, and those were exploring big questions of faith or big questions that millennials face.
Also, just the Vanguard community itself is really tight, and we became kind of like a family.
I'm very thankful for these people who are willing to push me, but just care for me so deeply, and definitely I think something unique to this place, to Honey Rock, and to Vanguard as a program.
Basically the whole year was one immersion trip, being here in the Northwoods and interacting with the local community here. Another was going to the Dominican Republic.
It was learning and delving deeper into my faith, but without grades and without this pressure that I've always felt to perform. And I think having the opportunity to learn in such an intimate setting has influenced me in a really positive way.
I think what Vanguard does is it helps you to really discover your true potential and help you to kind of define your own calling.
It's a year of your life, yeah, and you might think, oh, this will set me behind all my friends, but it won't. At this stage in life, you're still so young and there's still so much time to explore the world and to see what you want to study, and you'll have your 4 years of college, but you don't need to rush into that.
The person I am now compared to the person at the beginning is different in a lot of ways, but probably one of the most important ways would just be less anxiety about the future and more of just like present-mindedness and openness to what God is doing and like what His plan is from here.
Yeah, I definitely think looking back on it, taking a gap year and doing Vanguard was the best decision of my life.
Every day, as students attend chapel, meet friends for lunch, or raise their hands in class, they encounter the Wheaton Fund at work, ensuring the excellence of their Wheaton College experience.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, Wheaton students receive a Christ-centered liberal arts education, led by world-class faculty, preparing them for a variety of kingdom vocations.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, all Wheaton students can grow in their faith through chapel, small groups, and real-world ministry experiences.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students can participate in a more holistic Wheaton experience through extracurricular activities such as clubs, athletics, student government, and more.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students get to live, learn, and play in world-class facilities. Everything from light bulbs illuminating late-night study sessions to lab equipment fueling discovery in Myers Science Center. It is made possible by the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, the total excellence of a Wheaton education is made affordable for all of our students. And that's only possible when family, friends, parents, alumni give generously to the Wheaton Fund. Because of you, lives are being transformed each and every day on this campus. People that will lead society and serve the church in the next generation. Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of you.
Christ at the Core is changing the way that we teach and learn on campus. It's the beginning of a 4-year journey, a pilgrimage, and study of the liberal arts in a Christian community.
The first time I heard about the Core Seminar was in my spring connection of my senior year. So what really stood out to me was what they said that went along the lines of, in order to know your career, you first have to know your identity. And that completely blew my mind because all the other schools talked about how I could excel in this subject and grow in this career field, but no one asked me who I was. Through the seminar and through my professor, Dr. Keith Johnson, I've learned that being a student is a vocation, it is a calling. The Lord has placed me here and my classmates here for a reason.
The first year seminar is really built around introducing what we mean by Christian liberal arts. And that is not just to study that, but to actually do it. As we read texts, think about great ideas, refine our writing, make arguments, listen respectfully to students that differ from one another.
So homework wasn't a chore. I engaged deeply with the readings because I wanted to come to class with an insight to share and ready to learn from the students around me. It was an exciting opportunity, and I felt valued as an individual with the things that I could share with the classroom as well as learn.
The Christ at the Core and Advanced Integrative Curriculum is important for our students because it gives them an unparalleled opportunity for critical inquiry and to understand how their academic engagement informs their faith and and also how their faith informs their academic engagement.
It's really cool to be in a class that is just combining two very different disciplines, being taught by two different professors, Dr. Townsend just in the Department of Natural Sciences, and then Dr. Barwigan in Christian Formation and Ministry Department, but then seeing how they interact so beautifully in class and how they really just build on what each other are saying.
Students are getting expert knowledge in two very disparate disciplines, and that they're now having to learn how to integrate this. Right. So it teaches them from a liberal arts perspective how to not only take kind of these silos of content and learn it, memorize it for a test, but to see that everything that they're learning contributes to one another.
One of the best things that I've experienced is team teaching and actually having a chance to learn from you.
No, absolutely, that's true. I remember when we had this moment where we were teaching Ursula Le Guin, and I thought, this is perfect because we've got a literary scholar and a political philosophy person together, and a man and a woman dealing with issues related to gender. And I thought, this is such a great experience for the students to be able to hear us working that out, talking that together.
So one of the outcomes in the first year seminar is to learn how to articulate the gospel. And so we, as a seminar, gathered and went to the basement of the Billy Graham Center and went to the pulpit there and began to practice proclaiming the gospel to each other. It was fun to do it together, to hear each other as we were learning better how to communicate the truth of Jesus Christ.
Part of the seminar experience is that we really build a community over the semester that we are together.
One of my favorite memories from core class was actually not during class, but one night when Dr.
We're coming back a little early here for the second half. We want to take a chance to show you the tail of the tape here. As we talked before, Aston Francis, a historic season here for the Wheaton Thunder. Here's a look at his matchup against Kent Raymond. It's 2007 to 2008 campaign. As we mentioned before, Aston Francis broke the Wheaton College single-season scoring record in last game against North Central. Now at 779 to Raymond's 734. Just about 10 years ago, and Raymond, after his senior season, took the lead in that category, and that was also a year where the Thunder reached the Elite Eight. Raymond played 30 games that year. Francis hopefully has the chance to play that many this year. And as you take a look down the columns, Francis leading in almost all categories. Free throw percentage, the one spot where Raymond hasn't beat, 88.9% to 86.1%, but the main difference between the two being that three-point slot. Aston Francis with 122 three-pointers to Raymond's 75. Two amazing seasons by Thunder players. Aston Francis just now the leader when it comes to the record books in terms of scoring. And as we take a look back at this game, the one going on currently, it's Francis who's leading the team with 12, and that's on 4 three-pointers. Yet to take a shot from inside the arc, but Francis is 50% from deep.
And you're absolutely right when you say he's only taking shots from deep, but as opposed to the past, he's highly effective tonight. We've seen him have some cold stretches, but 4 for 8, 50%, that's what you want to see out of your team's sharpshooter. And it's partially what's keeping Wheaton in the game, struggling with scoring, but Aston Francis is going to have to take on more of the load in the second half. And not only that, they're going to have to take responsibility for rebounding. We talked before the game about one of the keys being the battle on the glass, getting those defensive rebounds. Right now, Milliken just destroying the Thunder. 24-15 on the boards in the first half, getting those second chance opportunities and stopping Wheaton from getting those second chance. If they can't up their boards, there's no way they're going to be able to come back.
Yeah, and another thing we talked about, the reason that they've had so many chances for rebounds is because the Thunder have had trouble getting those bunnies to drop tonight. We've seen a lot of layups that have gone in and out or have just outright missed, and that's really one of the keys to why the Thunder are down at this point. Normally they're not a team that does that. Normally they're a team that's pretty efficient from inside the paint. And so I'd expect them to get out of that funk in the second half here, and if they do, that could be a big factor in determining the final score of this one. So 43-33, Milliken will lead. We're getting ready to inbound it here on the second half, and it's Spencer Peterson who gets it into Luke Peters and kicks things off here. Francis again outside with Cunningham on him. Slices inside, takes his first two-pointer of the night. He's fouled, and they'll head to the line for two. That's going to be a great thing for the Thunder, too. Neither team really got into foul trouble in the first half. The Thunder committed 4 fouls, and Milliken committed 6, so neither team got into the bonus. But if the Thunder can attack early, get some of these guys in foul trouble, get into the bonus early, as the Thunder are a pretty good free throw shooting team, that's going to be something that's really important.
You're absolutely right. And getting to the line is going to be especially important for Aston Francis. Being consistently mismatched with Cunningham, we haven't seen Francis use his aggressive nature that we have in the past. Just by using little herky-jerky movements, a stutter step here, crossover there, he's been able to blow past Cunningham. So I'm surprised he hasn't been more aggressive.
Well, I think that just the fact that he did that on the first possession could be the fact that that was something they identified in the locker room as a mismatch and as a place where Aston could attack, and I think that's what they did. As Henry goes up, his first shot of the second half is no good, and good defense by Spencer. Peters wants to drive it, and he'll pull it out before he kicks off to Spencer up top. Now it's Peterson, and gets a great cut to Adome. Adome finishing the layup, and there's a great finish through contact as Marinko was right down there on Adome, but Adome able to finish it off.
Strong start by the Thunder. This is what you want coming out of halftime.
We see the ball inside to Henry again. Looks like Milliken wants to go to him as another hook shot is no good. Tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay with Milliken, but the first two times down the court, we see that Milliken wants to get the ball to Henry, and although he missed his first two, he's now Harrell the one that finishes underneath. And Francis is guarded by Harrell most of this game, and we talked before about their height advantage, but Francis has been able to do a good job getting away. And now it's Spencer whose three-pointer just rims out, and Marinko brings it up on the other end.
I like the open three, but Spencer had the opportunity to drive in and maybe get to the line there. It's always good to try to get those points.
Harrell's shot no good. There's contact underneath, and then the ball goes off the leg of Harrell, and it'll go back to the Thunder. Good defensive possession, as it looked like Harrell had him beat to the rim, but two Thunder defenders stepped up and helped defense and did a great job of blocking off the rim. You see a couple screens on both sides. Ball's tipped away, and Harrell almost stole it, but now Peters charging to the lane. His shot's no good. Henry's the one that comes down with the rebound, and another layup opportunity missed. Marinko goes hard right to Adome. That layup's no good. Francis there for the rebound.
Good defense by Adome, getting in front of him without having to jump.
Francis goes right to the hoop for the easy layup, blows right by Harrell, and lays it up easy with the right hand.
Yeah, I think you were right, Abram. I think Joao identified these mismatches in the locker room, focused on driving to the basket more.
Harrell stumbles, and that's a travel. Couldn't get the pass off in time, and wasn't able to get it to Cunningham before the referee called him for the travel. A substitute coming in. Zach Fisher checks out, and Jake Hampton checks in. Hampton's guarding Peters. See that matchup once again outside, and it's Francis against Cunningham. He'll just pull up the deep three this time. It's off the back of the rim. Peters out and able to get it. He had Francis open in the corner for a second, couldn't quite get it to him. Now Spencer is guarded by Harrell, and they've switched once again. Great inside pass down low. It was tipped. If it was there sooner, Peters would have had the easy layup, but Spencer Peterson there to get the three to knock it in. 45-42, the Thunder have cut the lead from 10-3 here in just the first couple minutes. And we see Milliken take a timeout. And if you're the Thunder, I think this is just about as good of a start to the second half as you could have hoped for.
This is exactly what they wanted coming into this half. Playing aggressive, driving basketball and tight, stifling defense. These are places where they were struggling in the beginning. We saw them come out early in the first half and play aggressive on the boards, get those tip balls, get those 50-50 balls, and then they loosened up, allowing Milliken to really dominate the game. And they're doing the same thing now, coming out, playing aggressive on those 50-50 balls, getting those tip outs, getting those assists. Now we just need to see if they can keep it throughout the whole half this time.
Henry will be the one to inbound. Marinko's still out on the court along with Harrell, Hampton, and Cunningham. It's Peters, Spencer, Peterson, Francis, and Adome out there for the Thunder. Harrell up top, works off a screen, and now Hampton's the one up on the top of the key. A shovel pass inside to Marinko. Aston Francis almost able to come away with it, but now it's Cunningham on the block. They go out to Marinko. Marinko puts up a shot, but he's fouled on the jump shot. There was a long two. He took one step inside the arc and put that one up. Luke Peters got a hand in there. He's called for the foul. Marinko, the one with the hot hand coming into second half. He hit 3 3-pointers in a row before halftime, and now he's at the line for 2 shots.
Marinko came in. Looks like he may have studied Aston Francis game film for this game. Playing like Aston typically does, taking these quick pull-ups on getting to the line off of fouls from behind the 3-point arc. Luke Peters has had a great game today as well. He's got 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 points, and made his first 3 of the season. Not bad for his last game of the year.
Well, hopefully not his last game of the year. It's not going to be, as the Thunder will be in the tournament, but last regular season game of the year.
Thank you for the correction. You're right.
But Anajuan Spencer hit the 3 down on the other end. We see Tyson Cruikshank check in for the first time. The freshman's guarding Jake Hampton. Harrell on the elbow. Goes up against Francis and goes through the contact to knock down the layup. Looked like he wanted a foul there, but referee said no, as Peters drives in easily to the rim and finishes with the right hand on the left side, and that's just a strict blow-by as he took one dribble move, got past Jake Hampton, and easily went to the rim.
Luke Peters' first step is lethal to defenses.
Cunningham works down low, and that's a charging foul. Great job by Spencer Peterson.
And I've been waiting for that to happen. When you have that much size, you don't ever get the benefit of the doubt from refs. Whether that's fair or not is just kind of the way it is for someone.
Well, the Oscars are coming up, I'll say that. But a great job from Spencer Peterson drawing the foul. Now it's Peters out to Cruikshank on the wing. Down low to Peterson, and he's right there. Blocked, gets his own rebound, goes back up and blocked again as Cunningham comes down with it.
And I think that's called karma.
Back out to Harrell. Harrell traveled before he took the dribble, and it'll go back to the Thunder, and Kobe Eichelberger's checked in the game as well. He's in there now. Cunningham checks out. Levi Laws checks in for Milliken. We've also got Zach Fisher back in.
That was a disappointing sequence for Milliken, getting 2 straight blocks only to have it on a needless turnover.
Francis is guarded by Laws outside. Cruikshank wide open on the skip pass. He takes the 3 and he hits it. Aston Francis able to find Cruikshank, and the Thunder are right back in this one with the 1-point lead.
Any lead under 5 points is essentially a tie for this Thunder squad. Just so elite at shooting from outside.
Got a foul. Fisher looking to drive in. He got sandwiched between Peters and Peterson, but looks like they'll get Peters with his foul. It's his third, so Thunder are going to have to watch out for that. He comes out. Luke Anthony checks in, and Spencer Peterson checks out as well.
Peters couldn't believe it, asking the ref to explain.
Marinko having a tough time to get it in, gets it into Zach Fisher just in time. And now it's Fisher outside the Laws. Laws works in, wants to get it down low to Harrell, who's guarded by Eichelberger. Eichelberger, great job keeping the hands up, but Harrell goes right over top. Now Cruikshank gets it out to Eichelberger. Eichelberger, a step-through move, kicks it into the corner. Luke Anthony, his second three of the night. Bounces off the rim, and then the backboard, and drops in, and Coach Schauer calls a timeout as the Thunder now with a 53-51 lead.
Well, that was a lucky bounce by the Thunder. I was about to say he shouldn't have kicked it out, but it worked out for them. But Eichelberger did a great job of driving the hoop, and he could have just gone up for the two, having great vision for Anthony open in the corner. Yeah, really good job to find Anthony all the way across the court, knocked down his first three of the night. And you know the old saying, good shooters get good rolls, and that happened there. As it bounced off the rim, and then the backboard, and then once again, dropping back in. But what's important is the fact that the Thunder have regained the lead. And they've done a great job here, and the way that they did it is kind of what we expected. Coming out, attacking the rim, they've made their layups, and that's really what's gotten them here, along with playing a great job on the defensive end. You're absolutely right. The difference within the first half is that driving to the hoop spaces the floor. No longer do they have to only worry about the perimeter, but now they actually have to worry about players driving in and just getting easy looks.
Harrell takes an elbow jumper off the back of the rim, no good, and Francis comes down with the rebound. Francis wants to push. He's surveying the field ahead. Instead drives right past Harrell. Goes up and finishes the layup high off the glass. Just did a great job extending his arm out as Harrell swung his arm down and able to flick it up high above the box and drop it in.
What a play by Aston Francis.
Zach Fisher, his jumper no good, and now Eichelberger down with it. Cruikshank's out front, and he wants to run too. It's 3-on-3. Goes over to Eichelberger, steps through, throws up the layup. Blocking foul is going to be called outside. We'll see if they give him the continuation. Referee says no shot as Cruikshank got it to Eichelberger, and looks he was fouled right there. Yeah, a couple steps before the shot. Good call by the referee, and it's going to be underneath the basket. Aston Francis will inbound.
Got to get your feet set in front of the driving player, otherwise you're going to call for that 10 times out of 10.
Goes back to Francis over Cunningham. Cunningham not able to get there, and hand down, man down, as they say, as Francis knocks in his fifth three of the night.
You know, it's dangerous for teams to rely on the three-point, but when you're shooting 12 for 24 on the night, rely on it all you want.
Marinko's three no good, tipped away by Harrell, but now Francis has it, and he's out front, 3-on-2. Works inside behind the back pass to Cruikshank in the corner, his three, it's good!
King Arena explodes. That's a special play by two special players. Oh my goodness.
Aston Francis finding Cruikshank. Cruikshank hitting his second three of the night. He's 2 for 2. Harrell throwing up the shot off balance, and Francis comes down with it, and then Cruikshank able to pick it up after it was almost knocked out. Eichelberger up ahead. Pass to the outside. Francis pump fake, step back, collects himself. The three-pointer off the back of the rim. And now it's the Thunder with the 10-point lead. Timeout called by Coach Scherer of Milliken, and we've got a whole new ball game on our hands.
Wow, just like that, this team knows how to come out firing.
And that's a credit to both Francis and Cruikshank. Francis does a great job getting out in front, driving in with the right hand and switches it over to the other side with the behind-the-back pass. Knew exactly where Cruikshank was going to be. That's a great job by Cruikshank to fill that outside lane. You always want to fill the outside lanes on a fast break. Get those lanes filled, and Cruikshank just filtered down into the corner. Francis knew exactly where to hit him, put it on the money, and then the shot was nothing but net, and it gives the Thunder this 10-point lead, 61-51 with 11:57 to go.
This has been an absolutely different team from the first half. A big part of it, Aston Francis is playing unconscious right now. Not only shooting at an incredible rate, 5 for 11, 7 for 13, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Just playing incredible, but not only that, his vision is unreal. It's almost like he has eyes in the back of his head and then also the sides, on top, everywhere. His head is one big eye at this point. The vision he has, I cannot even comprehend how he can make these plays so quickly.
Big part of what's contributed to the Thunder's 11-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Milliken scoreless for the last 2. Zach Fisher dribbles down the outside, and now he gets it to Calvin. Calvin Fisher goes back to Zach, and now his jumper is good. He breaks the run, and that's a difficult shot. Off the screen, the fadeaway gets it to go.
Aston Francis on the bank. We'll see here where the scoring is going to come from.
Luke Anthony drives in for the layup and then got his own rebound after he was blocked out of the air by Cunningham. Spencer Peterson going to check in. We'll see who he takes out. He's going to replace Kobe Eichelberger. Nyamia Yadom will be underneath the hoop. Gets it into Cruikshank. Cruikshank's 2 for 2 from the night. He goes up to the rim and not able to finish as it was just a little too low, getting caught there on the bottom of the rim. Cunningham out to Hampton. Hampton hits the cutting Fisher. Another turnaround jumper. This one just short. Harrell flies in for the rebound. And it looked like a clean block by Anajo and Spencer, but called for the foul. I think the referee got him for catching Harrell on the back of the head, is what it looked like. His elbow there maybe hitting the back of Harrell's head, although his hand got all ball. So Harrell's at the line. Wow, and the first one just barely rims out there, and you hear shouts of "ball don't lie" from the crowd.
I was about to say, we're all on the same page. That's always the most satisfying feeling, when there's a foul you think went the wrong way.
Harrell makes the second from the stripe. And so it's a 7-point lead for the Thunder with 11 minutes. Peters dribbles up top against Fisher. A dome in the corner. Little jab step and then goes back across his body. Goes up and it's a charge foul that's called. Let's see, the referee not very emphatic with the call there, so it took a second to realize, but looks like it was Fisher that got called for the charge there. And now it's Cunningham up top. Goes over to Fisher. Gets the screen up top. Kicks it down low, and now it's Harrell trying to get it down low, and now it's Calvin Fisher working on the block against the dome. His jump shot, no good. Spencer Peterson with the rebound. Luke Peters coming up the right side. Going to cross over and set it up across the middle. A dome now in the corner. Peters comes off a screen, and we've got the matchup once again. It's Francis against Cunningham. Francis goes right by him, and they'll get him on a foul. Looks like it'll be a reach. Cunningham's third foul, so he's getting close here. Again, with 10 minutes to go, they'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure Milliken will, and Elijah Henry checks in the game for Cunningham. Couple more substitutions. Levi Laws checks in. Harrell goes out. So does Calvin Fisher. Aston Francis down to inbound. Handoff, and now a three-pointer off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound brought down by Farmer. Hampton kicks out to Laws, and now it's Farmer up top. Over to Hampton again. Levi Laws' three is no good as Peters is there. Francis out ahead, slicing through defenders. Pass outside to Peterson, and he'll go back to Francis. Hop step through, and now it goes to Luke Peters. Fumbles it a little bit, and Coach Schauer puts his hands up, as you see, telling his team to slow down. They will pull it out. It's now Henry that's guarding Peters. Peterson on the outside. Drives in, loses the ball. Able to grab it and kick it out, but it's stolen by Hampton. Farmer out ahead. That's Fisher, excuse me, not able to get a handle on it. Ball kicked out, and now it's Yamie Adom who gets the last touch.
What a chaotic sequence for both teams there. A lot of ball movement, unable to finish anything.
Just a sloppy sequence. Neither team able to hold on to the ball here for the last couple minutes. Ball goes inside to Henry, guarded by Peterson. His layup, no good, and Aston Francis up for the rebound. Eichelberger's on the right side. Nice crossover, gets into Luke Peters, who's there for the easy layup. That's great vision by Eichelberger as he hit him with a bounce pass, and Peters went straight up and in. Farmer outside. Laws. Marinko off the screen. Little floater from about the free throw line. No good. And Kobe Eichelberger able to get the ball to Luke Peters before he stumbles out of bounds. Nice job to save it there. Francis goes inside. Kicks it out to Peters. He'll drive in on the right hand. Go up for the layup. Blocked by a couple of defenders. And Laws goes outside to Henry. Henry up the side. Fouled by Eichelberger. The shot will not go. And it'll be a 2 free throws for Henry.
That was a really interesting move by Francis, jumping into the basket only to rotate and use his body as a shield against defenders to be able to kick it out for a 3. It didn't turn into anything, but great idea.
Henry at the line now. Misses his first. His first free throw of the night as well as Spencer Peterson checks out. And there's one Spencer coming in. Henry at the line for his second. That one's good as he cuts the lead to 8. It's a 13-4 run that the Thunder are now on in the last couple minutes. Levi Laws there to make a steal. Aston Francis didn't see him on his back, neither did Luke Peters. Laws goes up. His layup's good. Laws doing a good job of turning the defensive into the offensive end.
And a great finish on an off-balance shot. Peters couldn't do anything about it.
Eichelberger guarded by Farmer. Farmer getting up in his face as Eichelberger drives past. Goes to Peters on the block. Henry's there. Tries to turn around. Gets it out to Spencer. Eichelberger drives in and takes the layup, and that was a really nice move by him. And he only took a couple steps from inside the three-point line, just able to use those long legs to get out front and really just worked his way past the defender and was able to lay it in.
Eichelberger is so strong and long. He has those long limbs that you mentioned and that muscle to just pounce, get those jumping steps to get to the hoop there.
Quick timeout by Coach Schauer, and looks like the Thunder are out of it now. It's going to be the same 5 on the floor. Francis, Adom, Peterson, Anthony, and Eichelberger. We'll see who Milliken comes out of the timeout with.
And let's see if they can use that basket by Eichelberger to jumpstart their offense. They've been struggling a little bit here. So we want to make sure that they don't become stagnant like they did at the end of this first half, where Milliken was able to come back and build a lead. So if they can come out and continue that energy they had at the beginning, they're going to be all set.
Yeah, the way the lead changes in this one have been going is there's no time to get complacent for either team. Calvin Fisher, his shot is no good, and now we've got a foul underneath. I think Najuan Spencer got Fisher on the head this time. We saw it Harold down low last time, and now Fisher, the one that'll be at the line.
Olajuwon Spencer needs to be careful. He has a habit of getting into foul trouble with a lot of time left. At 3 right now, 1 more, and he's going to get banked for a significant amount of time. And if you're Wheaton, that's not what you want. Great on the defensive end as well as great offensive player.
Fisher makes both. He's an 83% free throw shooter. Practically automatic as he heads to the line. Adome, the one to bring it up the floor. First time we've seen that tonight with Peters on the bench. And now we've seen Milliken make a little bit of a defensive switch. They just used Henry on Francis, and now they're using anyone that could get into his face. It's Marinko now off the screen. Francis steps back, fires the three-pointer. It's no good off the right side of the rim. Laws gets the rebound and pushes it up ahead. Fisher will take a 3 off the back of the rim, and Henry there to snatch the rebound. Out to Fisher as it got knocked away, but now Marinko takes a deep one. That's no good. And another offensive rebound. Henry down low. His layup no good, and the Thunder not able to get a hand on it before it goes out of bounds, so it'll stay with Milliken. And if you're the Thunder, you just got to get a rebound in that situation. If you're Milliken, you just want one of those shots to drop.
Wheaton has done a great job on the offensive end, battling through size and getting those mismatches, but it's becoming increasingly more evident on the battle on the glass. The size is a disadvantage tonight.
Henry on the block, backing down against Spencer. Spencer with the block, and that'll finally end that defensive possession. Extended one there as Anthony came down with it and was then fouled by Levi Laws.
And you saw a lot of those players under the hoop breathing pretty heavy. Both teams battling tonight for every rebound, and every rebound is going to count. 6-point lead, 6 minutes left in the game. We could see a nail-biter at the end.
Peters is checked back in. He brings it up the court now. Marinko's the one to guard him, and Francis outside. His pass just sailing into nowhere as he threw it to where Luke Anthony was cutting away from, not able to connect on whatever set that may have been. Cunningham is checked back in, so Marinko will bring it up. Harrell goes over to Calvin Fisher. Back to Harrell, and now we see him run a handoff. Not able to get it to him. Great job by Anthony to deny the ball. Fisher now on the outside, screened by Harrell. Cunningham wanted the shot, but no good. Shot clock winding down. Fisher's three-pointer, no good, and Levi Laws is all over the court. Gets another offensive rebound. Marinko, his shot, no good, and Eichelberger has to pass it to the Luke Peters just as he barely gets out in front. Now Anthony goes up, gets the layup, and that's a great job. Not good transition defense from Milliken, not able to get fast enough, but the Thunder able to escape another long defensive possession and get a bucket.
Yeah, you saw 2 or 3 players stutter there to cover Peters, allowing Anthony to get in without any defense.
Fisher works inside, and Francis is going to get called for the reach. Just Francis's first foul, so nothing to worry about on that end, but what it does do is put Milliken in the bonus. From here on out, they'll be in the 1-and-1. The Thunder, 2 fouls before they get there. Milliken's only committed 5 in this half. Calvin Fisher is the one that heads to the line, as I said before, an 83% shooter from the stripe.
Wheaton having an uncharacteristically low fouling night, something you absolutely want to see with this team's history, and something Coach Schauer must be very pleased with. Only having 5 in the first half. I can't remember the last time Wheaton's gone into a game without scoring, having at least 6 personal fouls in a half.
Calvin Fisher knocks down both. It's still a 6-point lead. After the Thunder raced out to get that double-digit lead, it's now been cut, and it's kind of stayed around 6. Anthony will take a three-pointer over the outstretched hand of Harrell, and it'll drop. 70-61.
The 3 has essentially become a layup for this team at this point.
14 for 29.
That is an incredible number for this squad.
Fisher's long two-pointer is good. That's Zach Fisher who hit that one, and Luke Peters will be out in front again, slowing it down this time. Getting the ball to Eichelberger, who's guarded by Calvin Fisher. Goes to his right, slices in, and he's fouled as his shot goes up. Fisher not happy about it. It puts his hands on his head, but Eichelberger, a great job with that first right step. Able to work over, and looks like Fisher got him across the left arm. Maybe not on the shooting arm, but enough contact for the referee to warn a foul here. In and out on Eichelberger's first attempt.
Milliken is a good team, but if you have a Wheaton squad that can play like this through the CCIW tournament and the national tournament, they could be close to. They could be a top contender, shooting 14 for 29 on the night from 3. That's going to be difficult to top no matter who you are.
Fisher out on the wing. Gets it to Calvin. His three-pointer is good, and that breaks a drought of their own for Milliken. They've missed the last 6 three-pointers, and finally getting that one to go. It's 71-66, so now only a 5-point lead for the Thunder. And the Thunder are still doing a good job of attacking the rim. We've seen this even out a little bit as early in the game Milliken had a huge advantage over points in the paint. Right now, both teams sitting at 20 points in the paint, but that's really impressive when Wheaton has 71 points, only 20 coming from the paint. That's mostly because they've got 42 points coming from behind the arc.
And it's nice that Wheaton's game is so well-rounded that while one aspect of the game may struggle, they can pick up the slack in another. Not scoring much in the paint, obviously being almost unconscious from the three-point line. But it makes up for their free throw attempts. Usually Wheaton, when struggling, will be able to get their game moving through the free throw line. Being above 20 made free throws a night is not uncommon for this team. But tonight, only 12 attempts, only 7 made. But obviously they've made up for that with their incredible three-point percentage.
And we talked about the Thunder's good job of not getting in foul trouble. For as good as the Thunder have been, the Big Blue have been even better as they just sit at 6. Their next foul will place the Thunder into the bonus, but they've done a great job as well. So we've had a game that has not been impeded by many fouls here.
And we've seen a lot of good just basics aren't pretty, basics aren't fun to talk about, but basics are what's making that happen, keeping their feet set, not jumping on baits.
Francis gets called for the foul on the floor, Harrell, as he guarded Francis, so that'll be the 7th foul. Aston Francis will head to the line for a 1-and-1. And you can see when a defender like Harrell, it's such a task to guard Aston Francis, and Aston's got so many moves. He's got the jab step, you saw him there, and he just had Harrell on his tiptoes is really what he did, and caused him to foul.
Yeah, his bag of tricks seems to be almost infinite at this point. It must be exhausting to be the defender on him. And it's definitely no easy task, as we've seen night in and night out here at King Arena and on the road.
Francis's first was good. His second drops through as well. We see Jack Marinko take a seat for one of the first times here in the second half, and it's Hampton taking over the point guard duties. Cunningham up top. They run Zach Fisher off of a screen, and now Hampton's on the right side. Over to Calvin Fisher. Harrell trying to back down on Ashwin Spencer. His circus shot almost goes in, but bounces out, and now Zach Fisher there for the rebound.
Great job by Spencer getting a hand in there, knocking it out. Milliken recovered it, but great play by him.
We've seen Fisher take a couple from the three-point line here. Now he spins in, works inside. Jump shot, no good. Late whistle coming in. We'll see if it's going to be on the shot. Looks like the referee will award 2 shots. So
you kind of saw Francis' hand come down. It's so slight, but it's going to be called.
And Calvin Fisher, not really the guy you want to send to the line at this point. 83%. He's done well for himself, 5 for 5 from the line tonight. The 6th on the way. 3 minutes and 6 seconds to go in this game. 73-68, 5-point lead for the Wheaton Thunder.
Fisher is struggling tonight, but succeeding from the line. 1 for 7 in total, but still having 9 points.
He's hit 1 3 and 6 free throws. Francis outside working against Zach Fisher. Spencer sets the screen, and you see Calvin Fisher there just kind of mirroring Francis, trying to do whatever he can to make sure he can't come off the screen for a shot. And now Francis double between the legs. Out to Luke Peters. He'll take another 3. That one's an air ball, but Aston Francis is there to pick it up. Jump ball is the call underneath the basket, and Coach Scherer of Milliken is extremely happy about that. Schauer, on the other hand, not as much. The ball goes back over to Milliken.
Well, as much as it may frustrate Thunder fans, I think that's the right call by the ref. It was clean all ball, just bringing it back down.
2.5 minutes to go. In this one, a 5-point lead by the Thunder. Outside, Calvin Fisher. Now it's Fisher that takes the 3. No good. Cunningham gets over to get the rebound. Marinko works inside. Another floater. This time it's short. Fisher will take a 3. Zach Fisher's 3 is up. Anthony attempts to save it, but can't quite do it as his foot landed before he was able to get it back in. So 2 minutes now. And that's the tough part. That's about a 30-second stand where your team has to really buckle down and play good defense. You just want to limit the length of those offensive, possessions. Ball goes up. Peters swoops in to get that one.
Not only is it nerve-wracking, it's exhausting having to keep bumping bodies like that, just doing anything in your power to stop them.
Harrell pressuring Francis into the corner here. Now he works off a screen from Eichelberger. Passes it back to Eichelberger, who takes a 3 from the top of the key. Off the rim, Peters goes up to get it. They're going to get Marinko on the foul, who's down low on the ground there. Peters did a great job. He went up and had to contend with Harrell up top. Marinko down low, and does a great job of coming down with it strong. You just see Marinko kind of loses him on the box out, and then Marinko stays underneath while Harrell goes up top, and Peters able to come down with it. 1-1. Both teams committed 8 fouls. Peters, no good.
That was a great job by Peters drawing that loose ball foul. Going up clean and just getting bumped around.
Marinko off the line, a 3-pointer, and knocks down as he falls, and a timeout called by Milliken as the lead is brought to 2 with just 1 minute and 14 seconds to go in this one.
I think Wheaton just got away with a potential 4-point play there. It looked like he got bumped on the shot, but refs didn't see it. Well, Wheaton's got to be feeling nervous. Coach Schauer needs to make his guys buckle down here. They built up a 10-point lead at one point, but it's just been getting dwindled down. Only up 2 with a team that's shooting relatively well from behind the arc. They've been able to make great defensive stands, but it's going to come down to their offense. They've been streaky all night, and they're in the middle of one right now. So if they can come out and break that cold streak, they can have a good shot here.
It's just a 2-point lead. They've cut it after a couple of good shots. Marinko hitting the big 3-pointer is the one that brought them within 2. The Thunder, like you said, Owen, they're going to have to buckle down on the defensive end. They're going to have to score. They're going to have to get to the rim. It wouldn't hurt to get to the foul line either. So, got to make something happen here. They've still got the lead, but the way Milliken has been, they've hung around all game. And a 2-point lead certainly isn't going to be enough going into the waning seconds of this one.
Aston Francis has been sharing the ball, spreading it around, making shots for his teammates. But in a moment like this, you have to assume he's going to be aggressive in scoring.
There he is, just puts up a jumper, fall away, and knocks it down. There it is, and now Luke Anthony makes the hustle play. He calls the timeout as he was off balance and almost gonna fall out of bounds. But what a great play by Luke Anthony. Took a page out of Levi Law's book. We saw Levi do that earlier in the game against the Thunder as he snuck in there and got the and one. This time Anthony just able to get in, take advantage of Milliken not paying attention, and get the ball back for his team.
An incredible body control, not just falling out of bounds either, staying on his toes on the baseline, slowly falling back. His teammates didn't even know what was going on.
Signaling the timeout, and so now it's a 4-point lead after Francis knocked down that jumper, and then Anthony getting the ball back. Let's take a look at it again. There's Francis's jumper, just a beautiful two defenders falling back, and now Anthony just steps in, takes the ball away from Marinko, and as you see, he's on his toes, didn't have anyone to pass to, so he called the timeout, made the smart play. Great job by Anthony.
Winning players make winning plays, and we saw both Aston Francis and Luke Anthony make winning plays in the span of about 10 seconds in the waning moments of a game. That's what you want to see if you're Coach Schauer.
Important thing to note, the Thunder with 2 timeouts left. Milliken has used all of theirs. They won't be able to stop the clock at any point with a timeout. Thunder with the advantage there, and now they're up by 4. For the Milliken Blue, we've got Marinko, Cunningham, Harrell, and both Fishers, Zach and Calvin, in. Goes into Spencer, hands it off to Francis. And now Francis is going to dribble it out as time is certainly on the Thunder side. They're going to send it here, and now he just works his way inside, puts up the layup, and he evaded any player that was going to come close to him.
And if you thought you were going to get Aston Francis when he's locked in like this, you are mistaken.
Zach Fisher's three-pointer, no good. Tipped up, Cunningham able to come down with it. They'll get it out to him again. Marinko from the top of the key, fires one off. No good, he heads to the floor. Francis gets the rebound, and now he's going to be fouled with 24.5 to go.
Francis is lethal. I've used that word a lot tonight, but like, you want to talk about Mamba mentality. I think Aston Francis has that. He is a killer at the end of the games on both ends of the floor. We've seen him get game-saving blocks, game-saving steals, make game-winning threes, free throws. No matter what it is, Aston Francis is going to win a game for you.
That's Cunningham's 4th foul, so with only 24 seconds to go, it may not mean a lot here. But Aston Francis hits the first, extends the Thunder lead to 7, and now Kobe Eichelberger checks in for Spencer Peterson. Francis with 1 left.
Francis up to 28 on the night. He scored 6 points if he makes this one in the last 3 minutes, I believe. So he is coming out firing.
Anthony guarding Marinko. They're going to need to take a couple three-pointers. Marinko loses it, and that's on the floor. Harrell goes down low, puts up the layup. That drops, but the important thing for the Thunder is not fouling. They put on the full court press. Now Francis just going to dribble through it. Zach Fisher fouls him from the back. Calvin Fisher, excuse me, is now with 12 seconds to go. It's a 6-point Thunder lead. Aston Francis at the line for 2 because they're now in the double bonus.
As the game winds down, King Arena has become tense and quiet. It's been a battle. If you're both coaches, this is what you want to see out of your squad.
Francis hits the first. Levi Laws checks in for Cunningham.
And with that, Francis at 30 on the night. Not an uncommon place for him to be, averaging 31 on the night, on the year, make that 32.5.
There's the 31st.
And with that one, only 1 point away from his season average.
10 seconds to go. It's an 8-point lead. They'll get it to Calvin Fisher in the corner. Aston Francis jumps, and turnaround jumper is an air ball. Out to Laws with 1 second left. Fisher will attempt a last-second three. It's off the front of the rim, no good. And the Thunder have taken home 81-73 against Milliken, their last regular season game, a win here at King Arena.
And what a season it has been for this Thunder squad. Coming in, not knowing what the year was going to be, but being incredibly successful, going 18-7 in the regular season. This team has been built up so well over the past few years. Aston Francis doing a great job tonight, 19 for 17, 5 from 13 from behind the line, and 8 for 8 from the free throw line. We're going to throw it down to Abram Erickson, who is with Coach Schauer down on the court.
Down on the court with Coach Schauer. And Coach, your team went into halftime with a 10-point deficit, came out quickly, and really just took that lead back, didn't relinquish it after that. What were the adjustments at halftime that kind of created that real spurt after the half?
Yeah, we were down 10 at halftime because I'm a lousy basketball coach. I've done this for 26 years. With a win like we had against North Central, we're going to be a little flat, and I just didn't do a very good job of getting our team ready for the moment, for the fact that our league is so good. Milliken may only have 4 wins, but they're great. And so the only adjustment I made at halftime, I was pretty calm. I didn't do very many. I just came out and said, we've got to. If they get 86, we're going to lose. They got 30 that half. We played way better defensively. I knew we were going to score. We got such good looks in the first half. Wasn't worried about that, but if they got 86, we would have lost. We had to hold them, and I was pleased with our defensive effort.
So finishing out the year with big win at North Central here in Milliken, how do you feel about your team heading into conference tournament time?
Yeah, it was a big win. The regional rankings came out. We're 3rd. We don't play Saturday, so this was our one chance. We're in a good spot, and I don't know if it'll be Carroll, Elmhurst, who it'll be here Tuesday night, but we're ready to go. We're gonna take tomorrow off. I'm not gonna come in. I'm gonna try to get some rest, and we'll see how it goes. I wanted to point out one thing. One of the adjustments we did make was give Tyson Cruikshank some minutes. Yeah. Tyson is such a high-energy guy. His only weakness is he's my size, but his energy is so good. He's just got great tenacity to him, and I thought his minutes early in that second half were important.
All right, thank you, Coach. So the Thunder getting the 81-73 lead here tonight, and as you heard over the announcements, they'll be playing Tuesday night. So we'll be back for the quarterfinals of the CCIW tournament. They'll be here at King Arena, 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. Their opponent will be determined here by a game, Elmhurst and Carroll. We'll see who comes out of that one. Either way, we'll see you back here on Tuesday night on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. For everyone here at WTSN, Owen Phoenix, I'm Abram Erickson. Thank you. Have a good night.